شي سويته في ساحتكم شيت كله عشاني مبسوط ما عندي اي عدو ما تعمل انا نو بيفس نو هيت ستيل ماني قاعد احاول صار حد يتطاول انا هنا بس عشان اكون لي so just watch how I will ride the beat like I'm worldwide making my name go chill يا سلام بطل معلمة تطلع رابي على يدي رابك مدفون سنتيمتر واحد ما بيعدي دفنتوا نفسكم بالغلط اكتشفتوا قلتوا ورد كذابين كلكم نفسي يرضي ام اسماعيلي ما في حاجة اخبيها ما حسوي اللي سووا موسيقتي نزيها محتاجة بقوتي على حسب نفسية غيري سهلة صبك سهلة هينك صعب اعديها احب الصعب ويجيب زيادة صعبة زيادة قلت جاري كالمشاهدة تحبوا السهل وتعطوا لبعض بس انا عمري ما اخذ انا اعطيني كل حاجة وديتكم لا تجي تقولوا لي ما جالكم بس اللي ما تحبوا تشوفوا ترى عمره ما شافكم قلت لكم بيجي يوم تشيلوني من بالكم بس جا اليوم اللي انا جيت عشان اقلب احلامكم احلام سعيدة عشان قلبي لسه نظيف ما يشوف المتعة في الاهانة مو نرجسي مو حابسني سامح لقول يا نفسي تنفسي بس مين قال انه قلبي ماسك الوظيفة دي احلام سعيدة عشان قلبي لسه نظيف ما يشوف المتعة في الاهانة مو نرجسي مو حابسني سامح لقول يا نفسي تنفسي بس مين قال انه قلبي ماسك الوظيفة دي بوي لسن جيب لي بيتات نو سكول ولاها جيب الموهبة مو فيك مو غصب طلعها سيب
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, right here at Step Saudi. It's your host, Hass or Hassan, Big Hass. I go by many names. Yes, I'm the guy with the bandana. This is the way it is. God bless all of you guys. We are actually live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as well. This is the whole thing and the power of this virtual, world that we live in. صراحة, and this is really, COVID has hit many industries. Of course, we're hard, but the fact that Step, did its second edition of is a true really testament of who they are and what they really stand for. And like I said before, Step is really family, so I can't big them up even more. Okay, let's go for session number 9, and it's actually entitled ICT in MENA, creating a highly connected ecosystem. We're going to discuss the role that ICT industry has been playing in the evolvement of human living, how far it can go, and the challenges that ICT companies could face in emerging markets. And here to do that and give justice to that, I want to welcome our moderator from Riyadh, Ms. Nujood Al Yusuf from Endeavor. Endeavor? Sorry. And can you hear me, Nujood? Connecting to Nujood. We're doing that checking right now. Nujood, hi. Salam. Hello, Allah. We can't hear you, which is okay, but that happens. What we'll do is that we're going to take a very short break, and then we're going to be right back with you. Okay? Yalla.
رجل على رجل جنبي ام عيالي ما يبغون الهلا الخذ وكراشاتي يرفضون عشراتي بس يبون مياتي بس العاقل فيهم ياخذ من حق راسي راحت الحلقوم رموها للمراكي يبون هنجر ستيشن ما يبون حلاوي من فيكم صام رمضان وشد حيله هو يستاهل ياخذ 500 هذه الليله شوكولاتة حلويات يحبوني الأمهات والخالات والجدات دايم عاقل أول مين يسلم دايم ساكت.
Okay, yes, we are back and hopefully it will work this time. We are going to be talking about ICT in MENA, creating a highly connected ecosystem. Nujood Al Yusuf from Endeavor, can you hear me now?
Yes.
يعطيك ألف
Very
عافية.
clear.
I'm really looking forward to this talk and getting more information. So it's over to you to introduce your lovely guests and take it away, sister.
Thank you so much. So, hi everyone. This next panel is going to be about information communication technology. So I'd like to give the opportunity to our guest speakers just to introduce themselves briefly and talk about your current position. Hassan, if you like, we can start with you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Hassan. I'm a founding partner at Plus VC, a new VC firm we launched last month. Prior to that, I was managing 500 startups operations in the MENA region and invested in over 180 startups across the region in all sectors and segments at the seed stage. So pretty happy to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Musab?
Sure. Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Musab Abdallah. I'm Director of Technology and Innovation at the Bahrain Economic Development Board. So our focus is essentially to attract investments into the country, whether local or foreign, and make sure that the country is ready for those investments. We're doing an amount of economic reform. Prior to this, I've had a long career in telecommunications primarily, policymaker, a regulator, and an operator. So a bit of a circuit in the tech industry.
Tariq? Tariq, I think you're on mute.
Like we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now that works.
Can you hear me, Njud?
Yes.
I can't hear you. My name is Tariq. I'm the CEO and the founder of Hudhud. Hudhud is a company specialized in conversational AI. So we build chatbots that helps contact centers automate their operations and cut the cost and provide better experience to their customers. We are in our second year now, and we are based in Saudi. I'm glad to be here with you all, guys.
Thank you very much, Tariq. Jamal Mohannad?
Thanks, Najud. Hi, everyone. Delighted to be with you today. Jamal here. I'm the Executive Director for Operations in Foodex, the leading cloud POS system for restaurants. Been in the region for 7 years, was with Rocket Internet before. Let's say specialized in startup scaling, both in terms of growth and profitability. Was ex-Amazon as well, and coming from France originally. And once again, delighted to be with you today.
So thank you all for joining us today and for talking about information communications technology. And I think this is a very important subject today. Or some people are referring to it as the fourth industrial revolution. So it's very interesting to see how it plays a role in the evolvement of human living and also how far it can go. There are many pros and cons to it. So I'd love to hear your feedback and your opinions in regards to that. And also we're going to be talking briefly about the challenges that some ICT companies could face in emerging markets. So I want to start off by asking, how do you think ICT is improving our quality of life? Musab, let's start with you, if you don't mind.
Sure, no problem. All right. I'd say it is definitely improving it. The only limit is really our creativity and how quickly we can pass photons through fiber. And COVID has been a particularly strong catalyst for that. I think pre-COVID, there were a lot of companies that were perhaps a little bit more traditional in their approach, whether it's for their own businesses or whether it's in interaction with startups and innovators. COVID's changed all of that. I mean, before even protocol and etiquette, I mean, you'd see like senior execs or senior government officials that are like, no, I'm not going to go onto Zoom or this. What is this? It's not right. Now it's the only way to do business. So it fundamentally changes everything that we do. I think we just need to be open to some of that change. We need to empower that change. And at the heart of that is talent, opportunity, and just a willingness to engage. But at the same time, let's not forget the human touch. There are people at the end of these screens, and we need to also remember that. So, I mean, I think I'm happy to go on, but perhaps give an opportunity for some of my colleagues to also weigh in on this.
Sure. Hassan, any thoughts?
Yeah, sure. I think honestly, our lives would have been hell a lot more than they were during this virus if we didn't have tech around us and allow us to do a lot of the things that we need to do to get our daily lives. Imagine if there were no banking apps or cashless payments or e-commerce or any of that in our lives. Like I don't know if I would still be sane. I mean, I don't think I'm fully sane, but still, you know, I don't think I'd be. I think that things would have been much harder. So honestly, like technology plays a major role in our lives, and has played an accelerated role in our lives just over the past few months while we've all been sort of in shutdowns and lockdowns and sort of combating this virus that we're all fighting against. So honestly speaking, as an investor, when I was investing in startups in the region, it's basically we were looking 3 to 5 years down the line. We assumed tech adoption would increase. People would start doing more online. There'd be more transactions taking place through apps and tech and websites and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, the virus just made that 3 to 5 years almost happen overnight when the shutdowns took place. And so, you know, there's always a silver lining, I guess, of us all, you know, being trapped at home. At least our startups have sort of taken a bit more prominence. So I think really our lives have been altered to.
Hello?
Hey, I lost you. Sorry. Yeah, our lives have been altered to a level that we never would have been able to imagine with tech sort of in everything. Every aspect of our lives is getting better and more convenient because of technology solutions that are out there now in the region.
Hello. And I think since we're on the topic and you coming from a venture capital and investment background, what's exciting for you as an investor in ICT companies or in the ICT market in general?
Basically everything. We're at such a sort of low base of penetration for all services, all goods, all transactions online, that we have so much potential to grow in basically almost every sector and segment within the technology sphere in the MENA region. We're starting from a very low base. Like we are decades behind the rest of the world, but we're catching up fast. Adoption of technology has accelerated quite quickly with 4G and smartphones and everything. So people are using that natively first before they even have a laptop or a computer or anything like that. So I basically am looking to invest in anything that'll make our lives better using technology. And as long as there's a solid team that are focused and dedicated to make sure that this succeeds. Historically, I've invested a lot in e-commerce, logistics, SaaS businesses, food tech. I like to eat, so that's a natural thing. And then there's a lot of fintech deals that we've done. There's a lot of areas for improvement just across the board in lots of Arabic language sort of applications, whether that's content entertainment, but also SaaS and businesses like Foodix is basically solving a problem with the natively Arabic sort of point of sale system, and Tariq with Hudhud, there's a big issue related to Arabic language recognition with all the different dialects and stuff. And I think using AI and NLP is a pretty interesting thing to overcome those issues. So I think there's a big area of the universe where there's Arabization and localization of content and apps that needs to take place. But there's just so much opportunity in anything that really we're looking for a team that are dedicated to make sure that they succeed above all odds.
Of course, definitely. The human element leading the technology, I think, is also essential. I think I would like to hear from the entrepreneurial companies we have with us today, both Hudhud and Foodix. Tariq, can you tell us a little more about when you started the chatbot, and especially as Hassan mentioned, having the Arabic content? Can you tell us how that played an important factor today? Have you seen in terms of traction or anything that you can mention?
Yeah, sure. First, please allow me to go back to the first point, which is how the technology is changing our lives. I can see it from a close relationship with businesses that we work with, especially during the COVID period. Is that the adoption of technology in our area is very huge, and of course, technology has changed our lifestyle, how we do things, how we do shopping, grocery. So the technology is the first thing that we think of. It is not an alternative right now. However, I also noticed something maybe not many entrepreneurs are thinking about clearly, which is that we as users, as consumers, we do change the technology from the other side. So for example, Zoom is a conferencing application or solution. Now, in a matter of weeks, most schools are using Zoom as an education software. So we changed this solution and repurposed it to another use case, which made the company create new offerings and new features to match this need. So listening to customers and the insights from the market and watching carefully what's happening in the market brings some opportunities that were unlocked before because the customers are reshaping the market. Now back to your question, Jude, is what's the difficulties or challenges that we faced? In fact, COVID in our case was a good opportunity to increase the adoption of AI solutions or automations. Pre-COVID, some contact centers were reluctant to automate some of their processes, especially public sector's organizations, because they are meeting their KPIs. They are happy with where they are. However, the game has changed, so no one can show up to the contact center, and most contact centers were not suited for remote work. So it was bad luck for all of us, but good luck for our company that these circumstances changed the weights in the game. So we saw a quick adoption. It is natural and we know that startups can adopt technology quickly as long as it makes sense for them. What is not common is that the government agencies were losing their restrictions in terms of the way they do business, the cycle of getting deals, and some technical and business requirements that were in a very high standard. They really needed to lower their standard for everyone, not just for startups, because they were in an emergency mode. So yeah, I believe that we are still in this phase where everyone is changing the standard, changing the playbook so that they can just adapt to the current new. And I think this unleashed huge potential opportunities that not been really used to their full potential yet.
Okay, very good, definitely. And do you think that adopting to the new technology is something that would be permanent or would last as a permanent solution or a temporary solution?
Of course, once they see the value that the solution, the new solutions bring, there's no go back. Because as long as the startup or any solution brings true value to the business, it doesn't make sense to go back. So why do we need to do it manually? Why do we need to do bookkeeping in paper once we have Excel? right? So once we see the value, we will move to the next opportunity to automate or create a new value or be available more hours or available in multiple languages. So the key word here, Nujood, is value. So once you create a true value, there is no go back after that.
Okay, very well said. I'd like to hear from Jamal, who's working at Foodex, one of the top leading businesses in Saudi, mashallah, really aiding the restaurants and F&B sector in general. So I'd like to hear from you, Jamal, how has Foodex helped restaurants in terms of, I know that you have multiple arms. So can you talk a little about how that was significant and how information communication technology plays a pivotal role today and what you guys do?
Yeah, sure, Nujood. I mean, I think the key word here is ecosystem. I mean, the whole idea here is to empower through technology the whole ecosystem. We're in a world where businesses, they face like complex challenges and they have complex infrastructure. So if we talk about the restaurant infrastructure in particular, for example, it's not the old way where you just take ingredients, cook and sell it. You need to integrate your call center, your online aggregators app, your mobile app, your website, your accounting, your HR modules. You have to check when your employees log in and log off. You have to do a million stuff at the same time. And for that, you cannot do it manually when you have 150 branches, for example, or even 2 branches. This is where we are trying to empower the ecosystem to have only a one-stop shop for all these needs. So at Foodex, how we do it is that we have a solution, which is the point of sale to register the transaction, but that is basically built so it can integrate to any other system, such as the restaurant manager or the operation manager, or whoever you want to call it, has only one device where he can do all of this. He receives the orders from multiple sources. He can do his accounting, he can do his HR, he can control his menu, his business, do his marketing campaigns, do everything from only one device. Because the issue, I think, with technologies recently was that it also brought too much complexity using a million different tools, and we kind of lost the simplicity of the business and took time, let's say, over optimizing the operations and actually doing things on the ground by just spending time on tools and integrating tools and using tools, etc. So trying to remove the barrier and keep only the advantages, basically. That's what we do. So that's why we have microloans for restaurants, we have integrations, we have the payment system, we take card payment with our devices, we offer the restaurants the supply, we try to have the whole ecosystem integrated into a unique device. And the second point I really want to say here, how we're helping the ecosystem through technology is the localization element. I think we haven't talked about it yet. Of course, it's undisputable how technology is helping businesses, but in this region specifically, we, let's say, come from a level that was, let's say, lagging behind the West and the US like 10 years ago, to a level where we are directly coping with the leading technology and even going one step further. So it's a huge change. And the good thing is that we're changing the ops, the ground, at the same time as the technology, because the whole change needs to be done. So that's why it's very exciting to do it here, because you are able not to change the system only, but the whole operations, the whole functioning behind the whole real estate. Today, people here in Saudi are building restaurants according to the technology that is going to be built inside. And this is very exciting to witness. And this is why the region, and Saudi in particular, managed to cope from lagging behind to being a pioneer and innovating in technology in general. Because they managed to adapt so fast and to change everything so fast that now they're inventing solutions and proposing it to the world. And that's exactly what we're trying to do in Foodex and what the region does in general. I think everyone here can witness this and can witness this and can testify with me.
Thank you, Jamal. And I love what you said about people planning the restaurants based on the technology they're going to have. So it's like technology comes first, and then how to plan around that. and where to set up and all that. That's how powerful it can be. So I want to ask a question maybe more towards Hassan and Mus'ab. And since Jamal touched on the topic of us adapting to the technology very fast, maybe the West have been there before us and we're catching up now. So what do you think, at least for local businesses in Saudi or in the region, what's the most challenging when they're trying to innovate in the global market? What's going to be the biggest challenge for them in being innovative in that space?
I honestly don't think our startups need to be innovative on a global scale. That whole compete with Silicon Valley and global tech companies, I really don't think that's necessary. I think we have a big enough region in the MENA region. It's 450 million people, very close borders, similar cultures, same language-ish, dialects and stuff like I would say. But I think, that's a big market, and you can build a significant business just in that market. And we've seen that proven by, Careem being acquired by Uber. And I think there's many more of those that are going to be there where it's like a big business that's just regional, and it doesn't need to be a global sort of business. And so that really is my approach when it comes to this. I don't look at startups and say, can this compete with Google or Facebook? Because honestly, Google and Facebook don't care about our region that much. Like they just, it's like priority number 7 or 8 down their list in terms of places in the world that they're looking at. I think really it's more about, can this be a dominant regional play and take over this regional market? That's my sort of the optics that I look for when I'm looking at a startup. So having said that, actually, we do have startups in the region that are competing against the best all around the world, coming up with their own technology and competing on a global scale. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It's there, but it's just not the most important thing. So like Foodix technology is phenomenal. We've also invested in another startup called EatApp, and they go head to head with a company that's gotten 10 times more funding than them in Silicon Valley and win those contracts and deals against them. So like there is significant technology talent in the region. There's really good technology that's being built in region that can compete at a global scale, but it doesn't have to. Like there's big enough market here that they can grow to scale without needing to really be on a global sort of level.
Hassan, if I may just here, for when I was talking about innovation, I mean, that's also exactly what I was talking about. Having a technology that is adapted to the local market. I mean, that's exactly what I call innovation. Why? Because typically what companies would do here, like 10 years back, you would take a global technology and try to apply it here to a market that doesn't fit.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And like I think,
yeah, or import, people from Europe.
No, they don't know what they're like. They don't even know the language. Like what the hell? Yeah, like startups going from Dubai moving to Saudi have difficulty. Like
I think actually, yeah, you're both right, because the region I think is criminally underserved, particularly when it comes to like Arabic content or cultural content or content that's targeted at us. It's particularly when you're talking about innovation. There has to be that spark. There has to be that problem that you're going to try to solve. There has to be that sort of need that you want to adopt it. And you can't cut and paste it. So should they compete? No, I don't think they should. I mean, also, why are they trying to solve a problem outside than a problem that we have here? They can compete. I think we have the quality to do it. We perhaps just don't have the number of years under our belt or the critical mass to do it as effectively as a place like Silicon Valley. But can we do it? Yes, we're very much headed in that direction. I mean, like in Bahrain, we're seeing really excellent ideas coming out of the woodwork. And COVID, again, I mean, just as an example, in the last 6 months, we've been seeing stuff in the health tech space. We've been seeing stuff in the business efficiency space. And honestly, one thing I'm really excited about is gaming. I mean, not just gaming in the sense of actual games and hosting and localization and development, but we're seeing a lot of innovation in gamification of services. So, and obviously when we enjoy something and when we're playing with something, we're a lot more invested. So you're seeing gamification in wellness, gamification in business and KPIs. And these are not necessarily elements that have been fully tapped yet. So why go for the areas that have been harvested? Instead, let's go for all the untapped fields that we have closer to home. So I think there's huge space and opportunity in it, not just for Bahrain, but even the region as a whole.
MashaAllah, yani, so sorry to barge in like this and interrupt, but you know, Nujood, you did a wonderful job really moderating this. So shout out to you, sister, and big respect to all of you guys. If I can just say one thing, there is a lot of incredible, amazing Arabic content when it comes to Arabic rap. So I really want to try to reach out to each and every one of you guys and send you an Arabic rap playlist, because these guys are really, you know, doing really well. I would love to see what you guys think about it. It's really exciting times for the Arab region when it comes to hip hop and rapping. So maybe I can get 10 seconds from each and every one of you. We'll start with Nujood. Just 10 seconds to wrap up. 10 seconds sentence.
So, I mean, I have nothing more to add. Yani, we were just talking about قبل ما we start the panel that I'd love to hear from the experts in the field. This has been a great conversation that we can go forever, I think, talking about.
Yeah.
I'd love to be part of this.
Yeah. Just any one of you guys, if you want to say anything right now, this is your time.
Yeah, I think really we're at the cusp of a technological revolution here in the region that's been accelerated by COVID quite significantly. And I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing what more founders are going to be able emerging to do in the tech space here in the region.
Right. Mr. Jamal?
I think something that's going to be key moving forward is to reassess our assumptions. I think in many different fields, we assume that there's a certain way of doing things. We need to step back, check if that still holds true. It may have been true 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Not necessarily true anymore. And I think case in point, even this whole remote working and remote, who would have believed that we would be in a successful event conversing across borders the way we are today. So I think double check those assumptions and don't limit the possibilities. I think that would be the key message I put forward.
Beautiful, beautiful. Our next superstar. Go ahead, Mr. Jamal.
Yeah. I would add, sorry to jump in, Jamal. So I would just add to that, in these difficult times for everyone as a human, as entrepreneurs and VC and companies, we need to take care of each other and support each other. So giving advice to each other, giving the right connection, checking in from time to time. This means a lot for everyone until we pass through this difficult times.
That's a message I'm definitely with.
For myself, I just wanted to thank Nujood for the moderation and for letting us talk. And as well, just want to finish with the hope note. I mean, when I see, to be honest, the young generations here in Saudi and all over the Gulf, girls and guys, the number of data scientists, analysts, even gaming guys and people that are super passionate about ICT in general, even people from, let's say, medical schools and things that are not related at all. I see the passion and the eager to understand these technologies and learn. I think we're just at the beginning of the transformation here. For us, we're already old, although we're quite still young, but I think the new generation is pushing very hard behind, and it's just the beginning of the transformation. Very excited and very positive about what's going to happen in the region in the next few years. And definitely I'll be here to witness that and have a privileged seat to do it with all of you guys. And thank you very much for.
No, God bless you guys, all of you. This was really one of my favorite sessions, all day in the past 2 days, to be honest. Really incredible. And yes, we're coming strong. Saudi Arabia, it's been time.
Is it the first time you say this, or are you saying that in every session?
No, seriously, you can watch the whole thing. I'm serious. I don't joke around.
Check it out, don't worry.
Yeah, no, much love and respect to you guys. Definitely, thank you so much. I hope we meet, inshallah, soon. Thank you guys, all of you. ويعطيكم ألف عافية. Peace. This was an incredible session. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to watch us as well on socials. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and this is live. This is the power of this whole virtual, event that STEP is doing in its second edition, STEP Saudi. Okay, we are going to move to the 10th session, but right after the break, and it's going to be entitled Refining the E-Commerce Game. Wow, definitely want to know more about that. I feel like I am just improving in the past couple of days, just, enlightenment and knowledge, just incredible. So stay tuned. We will be right